Welcome to this University Spotlight podcast. Today we have with us Mr. Dino Pruccoli, who is the International Director of Admissions at the University of Buffalo, and he will be providing his valuable insights in terms of the student experience, what courses the university has to offer, and in general the opportunities for international students after studying from the University of Buffalo. So welcome, Mr. Dino. Thank you for joining us today. We would like to talk about the University of Buffalo. So if you can give us a brief introduction about the university and the courses that it has to offer.
Sure. The University of Buffalo is the State University of New York's largest campus, and it is a flagship campus of the SUNY system. We have students from all 110 countries in over 50 states. We're about 30,000 students offering undergraduate and graduate courses. We're located in Buffalo, New York, which is the second largest city in the state of New York.
Okay. And in terms of the courses that are on offer, what are the more popular courses that SUNY Buffalo has to offer?
There's over 140 undergraduate majors to choose from. The most popular majors are in engineering, business, and the liberal arts. We've recently been named the State of New York's Artificial Intelligence Center. So we are building a building on campus right now for artificial intelligence. And we're building curriculum around AI, as we know that's kind of the future of everyone's life. So engineering, STEM programs, and artificial intelligence are kind of what we're known for.
Okay, so that's very interesting to know. So a prospective student will have the opportunity to study at this new campus that you're talking. It's under development, but I'm sure the existing curriculum also addresses AI very effectively, because that remains a very popular choice for students now. Especially with the surgence of AI in recent months. So from the student's perspective, what should he expect to be able to study as part of the AI program at Buffalo?
Yeah, I mean, it's evolving every day, as we know. But it's typically students who are interested in STEM or engineering programs, computer science, data science, will have more access to artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence is now weaved throughout our programs and in our general education. The state of New York could have selected any university, but choosing UB, University of Buffalo, really is important to us and an exciting time for the university. Now, it's not its own campus, it's a building on campus, but it's going to be changing the curriculum for students and faculty and staff. Each day is a new learning opportunity and how we integrate AI into our curriculum and what the students also take from it. So I would say today it might be something, but when a student arrives next year or the year after, it's going to be evolving.
So it's good to know, because it indicates that the university is extremely active in terms of responding to this technological advancement that has taken place. And from a student's perspective, they can safely assume that as they progress through their 4 years, the university will pay a lot of attention through research and through development of their teaching for AI. And they can graduate hopefully with the latest knowledge on AI and remain very, very competitive. Which brings me to the question of being competitive in terms of the tuition fee as well. So what is the typical tuition fee that the student is expected to pay, and are there scholarships available for students?
Sure. Undergraduate tuition is $27,000 annually. And we offer freshman scholarships up to $15,000 per year and transfer scholarships up to $6,000 per year. So depending on the student's grades and what they are, freshman or transfer, they'll know how much scholarship they're given in their admission offer. So this makes UB education quite affordable. We're ranked 36th public university in the United States and 76 nationally, with over 4,000 colleges and universities in the U.S. That's quite a good ranking. And then departmental programs also have their own rankings. Now, I know rankings aren't everything, but what I do find attractive for students is the class size, 12 to 1 student to faculty ratio. They're going to know their faculty, you're going to know their names, they're going to know your names. While we're considered a medium-sized institution, we really have the huge research opportunity as a R1 institution in the U.S. We had our President's State of the University on Friday, and I recently learned last year in research opportunities, the university generated over $280 million worth of research. So research is a part of the undergraduate experience at UB. So all these things, tuition, affordability, the scholarships, access to research, really makes a powerful undergraduate experience.
So you mentioned the student-faculty ratio, and this is quite attractive because a 12 to 1 student to teacher ratio is definitely going to make for a very interactive and very involved experience for the students. In addition to academic exchanges, what kind of co-curricular activities are also available which help with the holistic development?
Yeah, I think there's too many to really talk about. We have over 300 clubs and organizations. We have Division I athletics. We have the city of Buffalo itself. So there's something for everybody. No matter what you're interested in, there's a club or organization that's right for you. With over 8,000 international students on campus alone, we're ranked number 23 in the U.S. for hosting international students. So we know how to take care of international students, help them with their development and jobs after graduation. We have a program coming up next month where students can have Thanksgiving meals with faculty and staff in their homes. So there's always something to do between clubs and organizations, activities that the university puts on, or even within the city of Buffalo. I myself am new to Buffalo. I moved there 6 months ago. So in a typical American way, sports, similar to like cricket here in Pakistan, we have a really strong football team, a really strong lacrosse and hockey team. So even though you might not be interested in sports, the rest of the city is. And just being in that vibe, in that space where everyone's wearing the colors and cheering for their teams and really rooting for their home team of Buffalo is pretty exciting.
And that's an interesting point that you make, that some students may not necessarily be interested in that particular sport, but it does add to the student experience. And I would like you to volunteer some advice from a counseling perspective, because when I counsel students, a lot of them would also like to know about the actual experience, what to actually do once they arrive at a university like the University of Buffalo. And so what would your advice be to an international student that in addition to choosing University of Buffalo for academics, how should they go about their actual experience in order to holistically develop themselves and encourage them essentially to participate in sports and other activities?
Yeah, I would highly recommend them living on campus for their first year. While I think students might assume they can save money or have a better lifestyle off campus, that may be true, but building community is such a big deal at universities in the United States. So by living on campus, they're going to meet friends from around the U.S. and around the world. They're going to create these friendships that may turn into roommate situations in future years when they live off campus. So my first recommendation would be live on campus if you can. My second recommendation would be to get involved, no matter what it is. So if it's esports gaming, or if it's chess, or if it's debate, or student government, whatever you like or whatever you want to develop, there's a space for you, and you should join a club or organization. And then I would say the third thing that all universities offer, and that most students, American and international, do not take advantage of would be professor office hours. So
Okay.
professors have time that they're in their office waiting for students to come speak to them. And if you visit a professor during office hours, they're more apt to remember you, help you out on your papers or extra credit, be a reference when you apply for graduate schools. They may have connections for jobs after graduation. So those 3 tips is really integrating yourself on a campus, both academically, socially, and then connecting with like people. You're coming from kind of a monoculture, right? Pakistani students, they only know Pakistani food, but getting out there and trying something different and experiencing a new way of doing or thinking really opens your mind. And I would encourage students to challenge themselves.
Certainly so, which reminds me that it's also home to the Buffalo Wings.
Yes.
That's where it's a very popular space as well. So it's definitely something that we tend to recommend to students as well, because the very idea of studying abroad has to be a more holistic experience than just going to class and going back to your dorms. Because if that has to be the purview of what you want to do, you might as well do it in your home country, because University of Buffalo will definitely add that enriching experience. And we've seen a lot of graduates from universities in the US come back and stand out. They are well recognized, they're well identified, particularly because they seem to have these soft skills that separate them from that monoculture that you mentioned, where students within Pakistan are unable to develop that diversity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like you to build a little bit about the diversity that you mentioned earlier as well, in terms of the student body and how various countries come to University of Buffalo, and how that can help a student be globally prepared in terms of their future prospects.
Absolutely. We do work and live in a global environment, and you are going to be studying at UB with students from other countries, other parts of the United States, or even within the city of Buffalo. The classroom is a safe place for students and faculty to have discussions, share perspectives, and learn from each other. As far as beyond the classroom, we have career and job fairs every semester. For example, 500 employers will come to campus to meet with students for internships and jobs. About 93% of our students have jobs within 6 months of graduation. The reason that employers like UB and UB students and alumni is of that diversity. We are the State University of New York. We are the largest public university in the state. We have students from every religion and no religion. We have students from every part of the world, and people who've never even left Buffalo. So that is part of our mission, is to educate the students of the state of New York. And with New York City being a world global city, everyone knows New York. So that diversity is just part of our fabric of who we are. And employers like that. They want UB students because they know they're global citizens. They know they have had different experiences with different cultures and are ready to work in the workforce.
And I'd like you to also shed light. You already mentioned that University of Buffalo students can become quite competitive in the job market because of the way they're trained. But perhaps talk a little bit more in detail in terms of the support that is available to students during their 4 years, where the University of Buffalo, in addition to obviously preparing them academically and otherwise for the workforce, they also provide support for work. And as we're aware, there is the opportunity to do CPT and OPT for international students, and how that is managed at the University of Buffalo.
Yeah, so we realize practical experience is one of the best ways students can gain employment. So while they're students, the Career Center will help them with obviously cover letters, resumes, mock interviews, but we go as far as to create scenarios of networking opportunities, like how do you network? How do you shake a hand if you have a plate of food in your hand and you're trying to communicate during a networking event? We have alumni that come to campus and speak to our students about their experience, because you might think, yeah, I want to study aerospace engineering, and then realize, well, as an aerospace engineer, you're actually just working on one little bit of a larger, more complex process or system. CPT is a great benefit that students should take advantage of, so they can have up to 1 year to do their internships, either paid or unpaid. And then those who have a STEM designation can stay in up to 3 years on their student visa during OPT. Our students are really successful. Employers are seeking them out. So some large names like Meta, KPMG, PricewaterhouseCoopers, to nonprofits and the like. So our students are well sought after and do achieve great success after graduating from UB. And I think it's because of UB's longstanding tradition of educating and working with students in that small student-faculty ratio. You're studying in a small community, but you have all the resources of a much, much larger institution.
Okay. And one of the most popular questions that we get from students when we're counseling them, so when we talk about the University of Buffalo in particular, they will always invariably ask us, why University of Buffalo and why not any other university in the US? So in your opinion, what is that singular or multi-factor reason for students to choose University of Buffalo? What should they hope to get out of that experience?
Yeah, there's thousands of universities to choose from. I think what makes UB special is the affordability. It's very affordable. As a state institution offering scholarships to international students, the type of education that you'll receive at that price point is amazing. We are Research One institution, AAU university member, so you're being taught by the very best. But you're also in something that's unique to UB. You're in a border community, right? So Buffalo is right next to Canada. So our students take advantage of visiting their friends and family who are there. While it's its own city, the second largest city in the state of New York, you have Toronto, which is about an hour and a half away. And then just the beauty of Western New York is, I would say, unmatched. There's lots of state parks. There's lots of recreational areas. 2 of the 5 Great Lakes are within 20 minutes of campus. So you're in a very beautiful, special part of the country and part of the state of New York. So I would say affordability, location, and then just quality academics. It comes back to that over and over again. You're coming to the U.S. to study. Why study at UB? You're getting the best education for a very affordable price in a wonderful location. I came from a much larger city, which I enjoyed, but I always tell students, students from this part of Pakistan are coming from, say, Lahore or Karachi, multi-million cities with traffic and congestion and possibly poor air quality. But in Buffalo, it's a smaller city. You can get anywhere in 20 minutes. There's no traffic, and it's really safe and clean and friendly. Buffalo is voted one of the friendliest cities in the United States. So I think they're going to have a good experience. And that's why we have 8,000 international students. They're really excited about being there. They tell their friends and family, which then just, helps us enroll more international students.
It's good to know. So, Dino, thank you for highlighting multiple aspects about the university. Do you have any final thoughts or general advice for students who are considering University of Buffalo?
Yeah, I would say start early, connect with our current students. We have a Unibuddy platform, so you can chat with current students in majors you're interested in studying or maybe a country you're from. and get their perspective. They're the ones paying the tuition. They're the ones going to school. They can talk to you about what their life is like and how they're doing at UB or Buffalo. So connect early.
Okay. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming in, and thank you for your thoughts.